Hey everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss the pre-embryonic stage of pregnancy. So the pre-embryonic stage is from fertilization to about the second week of pregnancy. This includes the cleavage, blastocyst formation, implantation, and development of the extraembryonic membrane. So what are all these things? Let's talk about them. So first off is cleavage. So cleavage is the rapid cell division and distribution of the zygote cytoplasm into smaller cells. So, in other words, we start off with the zygote, and then it's going to divide into two cells, and that's going to divide into more cells. Notice how there's more cells and they continue to get smaller, right? So, this is the initial rapid cell division. So, we're trying to go through as much mitosis as possible, and this is just going to be the beginning of creating that morula, which is the next stage. So before we get there, real quick, the cells produced during this cleavage are called blastomeres. So these cells are the blastomeres, and once you have about 16 of them, we have the structure called a morula, which is going to then move into the uterus. So the blastocyst is a hollow ball of cells that is going to attach the endometrium. So just to reiterate all that and make it a little bit cleaner, cleavage occurs where the cell is going to continue to divide. Those individual cells are called blastomeres. When you have about 16, it's going to move towards the uterus. It's still dividing, by the way, but once you have about 16, it's going to begin to move to the uterus. And then as it continues to divide, it's going to eventually appear like a hollow ball of cells. This is known as the blastocyst. This blastocyst is going to attach to the endometrium of the uterus. So specifically, when we look at this blastocyst, the inner mast cells are going to give rise to the embryo proper, where the trophoblasts are going to form the blastocyst and develop eventually into structures that will assist the embryo. One major component here is it's going to produce HCG, which is going to be the hormone needed to maintain that corpus luteum that we discussed in the last chapter. If the corpus luteum remains, so will the baby. However, if the corpus luteum breaks down, then pregnancy or in general, the cycle, the female cycle will continue and menstruation will continue and everything will be ejected from the body. Here are some images of what we just discussed. You see how the cells continue dividing. You have the first cell, it breaks off into two, then it breaks off into even more. And here's an image of what we were talking about as it continues down the fallopian tube and into the uterus. Right, so we start off with that first cell, the zygote. It's going to begin going through mitosis or cleavage. And as time goes on, the morula is going to continue to grow until eventually it becomes a blastocyst, which will implant into the uterine wall. If you have any questions on the early stages, please let me know.